Hi guys. So the past couple of days have been really gloomy. It's been raining, and I have been in the mood to watch thriller movies, to read thriller books, and that's what I want to do today. I have two options so far. I have Two Twisted Crowns right here by Rachel Gillick, and I've been dying to read this one. I read One Dark Window a couple days ago, and it was so good. It left on a cliffhanger. I really enjoyed it, so I want to get to this one ASAP. My second option is When She Returned by Lucinda Berry, and my best friend is reading this book as well, and she's coming into town tomorrow to visit me for my birthday, so I'm gonna go ahead and read this one so we can talk about it and bond over a book. So those are the two books that I have today. I think I'm gonna start off with When She Returned, just because my friend's coming over tomorrow. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do today. I wanna go out and grab a matcha and then come back and get into reading. So come on, let's go. I'll take you with me. Okay, so I forgot to update you guys on When She Returned by Lucinda Berry. And sorry about the awkward angle. I'm sitting in front of my window. It's so cloudy outside, and no matter what I do, I can't get enough light in this apartment. So this is gonna be the angle. But I did finish When She Returned by Lucinda Berry. I was so into the book that I forgot to do an update about it. I did finish the book yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't remember. But wow, that book was crazy. It had me guessing at every turn. So I don't know if I told you exactly what the book was about, but in the book we're following a family of Kate, Scott, and Abby. Sorry, I forgot the husband's name. And you know, the book paints them as having a perfect family. They have known each other since they were kids, and they love each other. You know, that's how it's portrayed. They really love each other. They are each other's soulmates until Kate goes missing from a Target parking lot. All they could find was her purse in the passenger seat and her keys in the car, and she was gone. She disappeared for 10 years, and this is all spoiler free. It's all in the back of the book. But yes, she disappeared for 10 years. After a couple of years, Scott decided to remarry and, you know, move on with his life. I think it was like after 5 years, he decided to move on and get married again. And 11 years go by from the date that Kate disappeared, and she returned. She was found in a gas station that was located in the middle of nowhere, and she was carrying a baby with her. So when Scott finds out that Kate is alive, he obviously needs to go and be there for her back, and things just start happening. She's acting really weird. She's just not talking. The police and the family know that she's not telling everything, that she's being very secretive. So they're trying to like push her and get to know more about what happened. And in this book, you get 3 points of views. You get the point of view of Abby, which is the daughter. You get the point of view of Kate, which is the main character, and Meredith, who is the new wife of Scott, of the husband. You get those 3 points of view, so you get to know how Abby coped all those years without her mom. You get to see Meredith, how she doesn't fully trust Kate. You can tell that she cares about her family now, and she doesn't really understand what happened with Kate. She doesn't fully trust her. Kate, that was a really good point of view. I think it was very nice that Lucinda Berry put her point of view instead of Scott's in the book, because you just see things from a whole new perspective. You get Abby's, who sees the story with love. Then you see Meredith, who still cares but is a little bit more apprehensive. And then you get the point of view of Kate, and you go through everything that Kate went through when she disappeared, which those were my favorite points of views to read from, because it was just so crazy. Everything that she went through is crazy. There's also a group of people in this book called Love International, and they are considered to be a cult. So the police think that she might have been abducted by the cult. So that is did they do it? Was it something else that happened? And you just go through all these points of view to kind of connect the dots to what happened to Kate the day she disappeared. This book is very intense. It is very high paced. I don't think there was any point of the book that I was bored. I just wanted to keep reading and know what was going to happen next. There was 2 plot twists. One of them I thought I guessed right, but I didn't. I was like, wow, not what I was expecting. And the second one, I knew. It was kind of getting very obvious. I will say this, that the book started off very, very methodical. It had a lot of steps. It was very well written, and I feel like the last 30 pages felt so rushed. Like the ending, I think the writer was running out of ways to conclude the story, that it just felt like that she rushed through it. And some of the actions that our main character Kate made didn't make any sense. It would have ended differently. I wanted more intensity, because the book at the beginning was so intense that I wanted it to end that way, but it just felt so intense, and then just we wrote it out. It was a little disappointing, but it was still a very good read. I gave it a 4 stars because it just kept me on the edge of my seat. I wanted to know what happened to Kate the day she disappeared, and I could just I kept flipping my pages to see when her point of view was coming up next, and when she was gonna explain what happened. And when we finally got there, I was just, my jaw was on the freaking ground. So yeah, this was a good book. I do recommend it. I think it's a book that's gonna get you out of a reading slump, or if you want something that's high paced, like I said, and that's a thriller, then I do think you're gonna enjoy this book. So yeah, that was When She Was Gone by Lucinda Berry. And right now I'm reading The Housemaid Is Watching. I've been reading this on paperback, and I also have it on my Kindle because my eyes get tired and my wrists get tired. So I think I'm 80% through the book, and I am loving this book. I have read The Housemaid, and I've also read The Housemaid's Secrets. I have them both right here. And these books, I finished them in a day. They were like exactly what I like in a book, just a good thriller, a good storyline. So I decided to pick this one up. So far it has not disappointed. I will say though that in the first 2 books we follow Millie, who is more of a lone wolf, and she does a lot of things on her own. She's more of a badass, you know. She doesn't put up with anyone. She's also younger. She gets herself in trouble, but then she gets herself out of trouble. She's very smart. And in this book, she's married, she has 2 kids. So the dynamic and the way she expresses herself, it is different, because now she's a mother and she is a wife. There's things that happen in the book that if you read the first 2 books, you would think like, oh, like Millie would never do that. You have to remember that now she has to think differently, because now she has to put her family first. So I really enjoyed that. I don't know if I'm biased because I have my family, I have a little girl and I have a husband, but I think that made me enjoy the book even more. Like I said, in the first 2 books, she is a housemaid, and that's her job, you know. She works at cleaning houses, and that's where things just go down the toilet while she's working as a housemaid. And in this book, she is married, she has her family, years and years of hard work, she owns her own home. She thinks she's gonna have this peaceful life, but her neighbor, her name's Suzette, I hate her so much. I remember I would be reading this book and just looking up at my husband and saying, oh, if you ever do that, oh, if you ever let our neighbor do that. I feel so bad for him, because he was like, yes, babe, I know, I understand. But I felt so upset. It has been a very long time since a book has pissed me off so much. Since a plot twist coming, and I want to know if it is what I'm thinking. Because if it is, then that is going to be so freaking cool. But yes, I'm gonna go ahead and finish reading this, and then I will keep you updated. Bye. Okay guys, so it's been like 30 minutes and I just finished reading The Housemaid is Watching, and okay, I think I'm gonna give it a 5 stars. Like, I don't know if I'm still coming off from the emotions that I felt while reading this book, but I loved it. I loved this book. I thought everything about it was perfect. I love the main characters. I love that this book was following a family. I love that I got to see a different side of Millie compared to the first 2 books. So I really enjoyed that. I will say that for a minute there, I started questioning everything I knew about our relationship. I was just getting really pissed off. Everything was pissing me off. All the actions that people were making in this book were pissing me off. And I'm just glad I pushed through, because I love the ending. I thought it was really satisfying. It is very it was a very like dark ending, which I like. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but besides following Millie and her family in this book, we are also following the neighbors. She just really picked a bad neighborhood to move to. She's surrounded by just awful neighbors. I hate all her neighbors. Everything they did pissed me off. Which doesn't even sound like I love this book, because it made me so upset. But I think that's why I loved it so much, because it made me feel something. It made me feel like I cared about everyone that was in this book. So like I said, we follow Millie. She moves into this new neighborhood with her family. She's trying to do everything she can to just have a boring, peaceful life, but everyone around her keeps making it so hard for her. This book, unlike When She Returned by Lucinda Berry, ended with everything thought out. You know, I think the author, what's her name? Frida. I think Frida McFadden did a really good job at tying any loose ends. I liked how there was like a big plot twist, and then like the last 2 pages were like the tiniest plot twist that I loved. It was just like, yes, like I'm happy that little plot twist was integrated in the book. I think this is going to be the last book in the series. It's a 5-star read for me. It has suspense. It built the story so perfectly. They brought back characters from previous books that I was just so happy to see again, and very easy to read, but still intricate in the way that she thinks of every little detail of the story. Especially with thrillers, it's so easy to leave a lot of plot holes in the story, and I feel like this one did a good job at wrapping everything up, and it was satisfying. It was so satisfying to me. I love this book. Like I said, so far I'm thinking that it's a 5 stars. It might change. I don't know, it might change, but that's my rating so far. I think that if you enjoy the first 2 books, you're gonna either love the third one or hate it, only because, like I said, in the first 2 books it's just Millie, and in the third book it is centered more around like her and her family. So some people might think that that's boring, you know. I don't know, I liked it. Third one took it up a notch, and that was my 5-star read. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's gonna be the end of the book vlog. I was gonna read Two Twisted Crowns in this vlog. The more I thought about it, it's not a thriller. I was just gonna put it on this video because I wanted to read it very, very badly, but I think I'm just gonna leave it for another video where I read just fantasy books. I think it's a better idea. I'm also sorry that I didn't give you guys enough updates in between books or while I was reading the books. It's just that I was not expecting the books to be that good, and I also keep forgetting that this is what I'm doing now, you know, and I keep forgetting to grab my camera to give little updates, but I will get better, I promise. I'm gonna get better at doing that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.